Happy Dodgers Padres. Opening day, bright and early tomorrow.
Yes.
It's kicking off game 1, Wednesday, 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific. Tyler Glasnow, Yu Darvish getting the season started for these division rivals.
This counts.
It counts.
Game 1,
counts.
March 20th. 3 a.m. Pacific, 6 a.m. Eastern. I hate that I did that because it should always be switched.
I was
6
like, wow.
a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m.
Okay,
Pacific.
you're becoming a West Coast
the
guy
world
now.
runs on Eastern time, my friends, and it's 6
Not
a.m.
your brain
Eastern.
right there.
Game 1 of the season. Tyler Glasnow, Yu Darvish. Things you love to see. 2 nasty pitchers out there. Glasnow making his Dodgers debut.
Yeah.
Has looked really, really good in spring training. So that's the first game. Game 2 will be Yoshinobu Yamamoto making his debut against Joe Musgrove. That's game 2. I will be up for both of those.
We will.
We'll see.
You don't believe I'm going to do
We'll see if we're both up.
Okay, we're going to need proof, receipts, photos,
Alex is going to text
tweets.
me in like the 8th inning, like I'm up, and it'll end of the game.
I'm going to show you my
it's like
alarms.
6
I'm
a.m.
going to get up. Believe in me. Have a little faith, okay?
I believed in you. It's not that I don't believe you'll have an alarm set. It's that you're going to hit
You know
that.
how many alarms I have all the time.
Yeah. So
My life is run by alarms.
Games
okay.
1 and game 2 are the 20th and 21st at 6 a.m. Eastern.
So what are we watching for in this series? Because it's very different. Again, this is international baseball. Yes, it's two Major League Baseball teams, but they're playing in Seoul. So we're gonna get a much different vibe in these games.
And
yes,
first thing to watch, vibe and atmosphere.
Love that.
That's mine. The atmosphere we're gonna see is unlike anything. If you've only been to baseball games in the United States or only watched baseball games in the United States, what you are going to see if you wake up early to watch those games is something unlike anything that you have ever been to or seen.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the World Baseball Classic, you got a glimpse of baseball in Korea. There will be cheerleaders on the dugouts, and the Dodgers have a cheer squad.
It was so loud.
So loud. There were drums, there were flags, there were dance routines, there were people like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was a party. And that's what we're going to get to see.
I love that.
Over there. You have Ha-Sung Kim going back home. He's from there. He played in Korea for a while.
Cool to see.
Got a standing ovation his first at bat back over there. Like, that's going to be part of this. But really, Alex, for me, it's just like, if I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch baseball, I better get a cool atmosphere.
Are you not entertained?
And it's going to be worth it.
You're going to be entertained. It's going to be great.
I remember the World Baseball Classic. It's like I was most excited to watch like Team Japan, and they were playing in Japan. But I started appreciating, like, I'm going to get up to watch those games in Korea because of the atmosphere.
It was so cool.
And that's going to be a huge, huge part of this whole series for me. And shout out to Major League Baseball for making this happen. Baseball is growing across the globe. And watch this game to understand
like,
that.
It's so important. And it's so cool to see that Major League Baseball is finally taking, these big steps to grow the game internationally, right? Obviously, World Baseball Classic, I think, really helped everybody last year around this time. But we have the London series, we had the Dominican, we had the Mexico last year. Now we're in Korea. And it's beautiful to see how many people are just obsessed with baseball. And there's a different passion, as we just talked about in the last, what we're looking for, the atmosphere, everything is a different vibe, which I think we'll get a little more of that in Miami, because now they're allowing all that. We talked about that last week. Hopefully. So yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is great.
Next up for me, Alex, is Jackson Merrill making his debut. We heard the other day when right as they were taking off for Korea, reporters were asking their manager, Padres manager, Mike Schilt, what's the deal with Jackson Merrill? And he said, all I can tell you right now is that he will be on the plane to Korea, meaning he made the team.
Yes.
And now we're finding out that he is going to be the opening day center fielder for the San Diego Padres, the number 12 prospect in all of baseball, first rounder out of high school. And with him starting in center field, once he officially does that, once he makes the start, he will be the third center fielder under 21 years of age in the last 50 years to start the season on opening day in center field. Those other two, you might ask?
Yep.
King Griffey Jr.
Our buddy.
And Andrew Jones, my favorite player growing up.
Oh, that's awesome.
So You heard of them? I mean, that's pretty
Two
good.
greats.
Pretty good territory there. And by the way, this guy's not only for the historical reasons and that this guy's a number 12 prospect in baseball and he's a stud, but he's also a shortstop.
That's the craziest part here. But if you look at the Padres lineup, a good chunk of their players are natural shortstops that are just playing wherever they need to fill a spot. That just speaks to the talent that this roster has.
Yeah. I mean, and not just a shortstop that transitioned a while ago in the minors. Like, he's a shortstop.
Yes.
And they have a platinum glover at shortstop, and he's a stud. So it's like, well, we want him on the team. And man, our outfield kind of sucks besides the guy that's on my shirt right now, Fernando Tatis. Like, let's throw him out in center field. Look, shortstops are the biggest athletes on the baseball field, right? Best athletes are typically a shortstop. And that we saw it with Tatis, moved from short out to right field, won a platinum glove. We see it with Xander Bogaerts, was a shortstop moving over to second. I think that'll help him a lot. Jackson Merrill moving from shortstop to center field. And I think he's going to be really good out there. So keep an eye on him. He's a stud, had a really good spring, and I think helps this team a lot.
All right. Last thing we're watching out for. I can only imagine, because we haven't talked about him yet in this list, it's got to be Dodgers Yamamoto.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sure is. Yamamoto's debut, which will come on Thursday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern. The debut of the $300 million man that hasn't thrown a pitch yet in Major League Baseball, but he's going to be worth it. And he's nasty. Look, this guy's vital to, if you really want to talk about, like, well, what are we watching out for? Yes, Yamamoto, and there's been a lot of hype and the biggest free agent contract and coming over from Japan and all of that stuff. But Yoshinobu Yamamoto is vital to the Dodgers' success this season specifically, because they still have some rotation question marks, right? Shohei's not going to pitch this year. That's not a question mark. It's just a lack of depth. Walker Buehler, where's he going to be at? Where's he going to be at health-wise coming back from an injury? Clayton Kershaw, what are we going to get from Kershaw? There's just not a ton of depth this year with some question marks in there. And if you can, and I know they added Glass now, who's going to be a stud, and we know that. Yamamoto, I believe, is going to be a stud, but this year specifically, in his transition year, it's vital because they really, they need him.
Yeah, they do.
So watch out for him. Great fastball, nasty splitter. I'm excited to wake up and to watch that man make his MLB debut in Korea. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. So the Atmosphere one, Jackson Merrill debut, Yamamoto debut, those are the things to me. Like, I can't wait for this Seoul Series, just because it's a blossoming rivalry between these two teams. It's the debut of Shohei with the Dodgers. It's the debut of Yamamoto. It's the debut of Jackson Merrill. So there's just so much going on in this series. Pair that with them playing in Korea in that atmosphere. I am really excited. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.